third play. They covered up some quick game stuff. Mike made a great job. Certain passing routes, it turns into Q draw and Mike showed off his electric speed that Michael Newton has, and got into the end zone there to get us off to a good start. And then, the second drive, I felt like, really it was, it was big plays. We would get going. Offensively, we were able to run the ball we felt pretty good about it, running off tackle a little bit and running some dive stuff.
And that, Coach, let me stop you. That's why I say it didn't look like you were clicking, because you didn't have to, because there was no chance for you to really get into a rhythm of play calling.
Yeah, honestly, I think the most impressive thing that I saw all night, honestly, I mean, obviously our defense played great, and Lorenzo Morales and that D-line and the back end played amazing. Offensively, we played really good, but I look up and we had put in a specific concept that ended up going to Jaden Tassetto for a touchdown. Got called back for a false start. And then we put in we have another concept, and ends up going across the middle of Ty Millis, and he gets called back too because he gets covered up. So, we complete 2 balls right there for about 110 total yards, and they both got called back. And then we call a screen, and we get it to Carter Hewitt, who can, obviously really run and plays really good football. And next, he takes off and scores. So we completed 3 balls for about 170 yards or 160 yards back to back to back, and we ended up getting in the end zone. They ended up kind of propelling us to kind of get things going. So I was happy to see that for sure. Staying resilient.
On that play he's talking about, it was 3rd and 18, something like that.
Third down.
And Jared said, "What do you think?" I said, "Throw something underneath to your big money guy and let him run for a first down." He was one tackle away from busting it the play before.
Actually, I think what I heard out of your mouth was throw a screen to him. But hey, same little concept there. You got the ball in your hands of the playmaker.
We won't go into the nuts and bolts of it, but pretty much it
was just that shallow cross.
It's a shallow cross, and he ends up working back behind the line of scrimmage.
But it was kind of obvious after he caught it and he turned north and south.
Yeah.
Shot out of a cannon. He was gone. There wasn't nobody going to – excuse me, and I've been fighting the crud, so I apologize if I have to clear my throat every so often. But, yeah, he showed that burst, and which is one of the main reasons he's being recruited. So, that was great to see. Talk a little bit about when you look at the game, and, I mean, you almost had to go into this game. I mean, they're must-wins from here on out. Every game.
We win every game is. I mean, I look at every game as a must-win. Don't get me wrong. Just like this Friday, it's a must-win. So, I mean, I went into that one as a must-win. Obviously, we knew, we wanted to play a little bit faster. We didn't get the opportunity just because of like short porches, and we were 1 and done, 2 and done, 3 and done early. But we knew we wanted to play fast offensively. Defensively, felt really good. We expected 22 to play. He ended up playing. Obviously, we were able to wrap him up. They did a good job spilling and wrapping up and tackling and doing things that they've done all
year. Oh, yeah, and your defense really kept the ball. They didn't give the quarterback an opportunity to get comfortable, and he would just throw the ball up to their top receiver, that number 88.
And they didn't do it as much as I expected them to. I expected them to take a few more shots down at 88.
Coach, I think after it was 21-0, I think they started taking the air out of the ball. I think they were wanting it not to get too ugly.
Yeah. Well, and that's fine. We obviously, for us, we wanted to play. We wanted to play really well, get back in a groove of things offensively and defensively, wrap up and tackle. The great thing is we got a lot of kids out there, with us coming out in the second half and ended up scoring, and I told them in the third quarter the goal was 14, and we matched it. And so, coming out, getting 14 right there in the first part of the third quarter was huge for us. We were able to get a lot of kids reps. Some kids that haven't gotten as many reps in these last few games, which only is going to help us going forward.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and a lot of young kids.
100%.
A lot of young kids. Hey, can you go ahead and pass it over to –
I'm going to ask him.
Well, we're going to come back to him.
Oh, okay.
We're going to come back to Coach.
I've got our offensive coordinator, Matt Medley, here.
Yep. So Coach Medley. Thanks for joining us, Coach Medley. And obviously I hadn't done this in a couple of years, but I think – were you on the show last year, the year before?
Yeah, I came – a couple weeks ago.
He was on.
Well, you were on this year, but I thought you were last year.
Yep.
So one of the questions that I have for you, and I don't want to put you on the spot, and I don't want you to say anything you don't feel comfortable saying. What is the difference in your play calling, your offensive, offensive preparation. Your offensive preparation from, because you've been here 3-4 years now, 3-4 years ago to now. I mean, is it just talk a little bit about how your offensive prep has changed over the course of these 3 to 4 years? Because number one, you've got different athletes. Obviously, you got different offenses. You had a huge offensive line last year, so I mean, it was kind of obvious what you guys were wanting to do. And this year, you've got a run offense, basically, but you're doing really good, and you've got some quarterback and some receivers that are doing a really good job of exposing some of the defense's weaknesses.
Really, you have to, especially at the high school level, you see too many coaches that try to put their offense into a team that maybe doesn't have that skill set.
Right.
And, last year we had plans to be a different kind of offense, but when we lost those 2 quarterbacks in the first 2 games, it kind of changed a little bit. We had to kind of bring a 14-year-old Xavier Gonzalez slowly into it, which he did a fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
And then that was tough. You say slowly, but it wasn't slow. He was thrown right into the fire because he had to.
Michael gets hurt on a Friday against Southwest Legacy, I believe, and then I called Xavier the next day and said, you are going to be getting reps at the varsity quarterback position on Monday. And then he did it. And he went 5-2 that year, but our offense was more, let's use the big bodies up front. Let's milk the clock. Let's run the ball and pound it. And Anthony, even with facing 8-man boxes, he had 1,500 yards.
Had an exceptional year.
And we had receivers that did some things too. It was just a slower process of trying to get it going. And then this year, we lose 4 of those 5 starters on the offensive line. So we have a brand new offensive line. We have a quarterback battle in the spring. We have a brand new offense that we're trying to install, which is it's a complicated offense for them to learn. There's a lot of different things you've got to do and moving parts, all those kinds of things. And it's been a process to get to this point. And, at Midland High, for example, it's taken them 3 years of running this same offense we're running now to get to where they are. And they were, I want to say, 3-7 and then 5-5, and then they started off 8-0 this year. We're kind of doing that same deal. But we have the athletes on the outside to be able to do some different things and have a passing game. That you see some flexbone teams, they throw the ball 4 times a game, and that's it. They run the ball 50 times a game. We try to be a little bit more balanced and throw the ball between 15, 25 times a game, and still be able to run the ball. But our biggest thing, I really think the old let's be 50% run pass is kind of antiquated. Let's kind of balance that out between our athletes and try to be 20% with this kid, 20% with this kid, 20% with this kid, and get your best 4 or 5, 6 guys the ball in different situations.
So I'm sorry, but what you're saying is you can dictate that by play calling, but at the same time, that could be your primary. Whereas if you're teaching your quarterback at the same time to read the defense and stuff, I don't know, maybe in the future you work towards giving the quarterback a little bit more of an opportunity to check. Coach and I have talked about that sometimes, again, as they get comfortable with the offense.
It just comes with time, In an ideal world, we'd be able to call a formation, let the quarterback check at the line of scrimmage, go right or left based on what they're doing. And they're getting to that point. We're all getting to that point. But the thing with these kids, no matter what we want them to do, they do it.
That's one thing we've all noticed.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's coming along, and all the credit goes to those boys because they've been through a lot the last several years. And whether it's injuries, new coaches, new schemes, whatever, they just keep rolling, and we could tell them we're going to wear pink to practice, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, we're going to practice in the street, whatever. They would just say yes, sir, and go do it. They'd run through a brick wall.
Well, Coach, that is not a concern of this community right now. They look out there and they see these kids playing hard. Now, chips haven't fallen their way, at the end of 2 or 3 games, which we could talk about and hash about all night long. But the bottom line is that they're in the games, and I think if you're a coach moving forward, if you're in those games in the fourth quarter, I mean, that's a huge step for this program right now because there's been a lot of games that we have not been in the fourth quarter in recent memory. So what you guys are doing out there is to be highly
productive.
Yeah, I mean, we really think that you guys are doing a good job, and I think that wherever the chips may fall in the future, I think it bodes well for our program. So
again, it's testament to the kids because. You lose the games that we've lost. I want to say 6 points and less than 10 yards is the difference between us being
Yeah,
district
exactly.
where we are right now.
Exactly.
But you lose games like that kind of rips your heart out. The kids could have very easily tucked tail and quit and been ready to move on, and they're not.
And
They
they
keep
did
coming
not.
to practice. They continue to work hard. They show up early for film and wait. They stay after school for practice. They come on Saturdays, do everything they're supposed to do, and that's fantastic.
A lot of that goes, from you can say it's the kids, it's the coaches. You got to have seniors that are doing that, and seniors that believe that what we've gone through all this, and what we're trying to teach these younger guys. We're trying to leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Hard work pays off.
Absolutely.
So, Maury, I'm sorry. I feel like when I get on here, sometimes
You don't shut up.
I don't shut up, and I just have so much to say because y'all keep me bottled up in a little case all year long. I never get to talk. So, Maury,
No, just keep going. You're doing fine.
well, no, you don't have anything for Coach Medley in the offense.
Well,
we covered everything.
no, you just won't shut up.
He forgot, huh? He forgot.
No, what you were reiterating, Coach, is you have to base your scheme according to the athletes that you have, and that's something you've had to adjust from last year without having the bigger offensive line you have this year, transforming that into what works not only for you but for the kids. And it's like Coach like Jeff said, they're buying into it and believing, and you can see down there on the sidelines when they come off the field, they're a unit, and they talk as a unit. They not one guy goes over here and one goes over there, and one, if you have a bad series, goes and
You mean
pouts
they
there.
don't go to the fence and talk to their dad?
No.
But, oh,
And
it was
that-
starting to be
that-
commonplace around here. I thought that was something they were teaching them.
That's just good leadership.
Yes, sir. It's a credit to those kids and the seniors especially because they've held this thing together, and they've had lots of reasons to not want to and to not want to be out there and not want to come in. But I would bet that we are probably watching more film with the kids than most other programs in the state, and they're really learning the game of football. The scheme is fine, and everybody has their scheme. Everybody has their X's and O's, but it really doesn't matter unless your kids are willing to buy in and do it, because there's a lot of different schemes that work. Football it's really like chess. You really have to think and move your pieces around and be able to be successful. And anybody can play chess, but to be really good at it, you really have to study the game and know what you're doing. And if the defense does this, what are you going to do to counter that? And the fact that our kids are asking questions, they're watching film on their own time, they're coming to us and asking, what do I do if he does this, or what do I do if he does that? That's huge for us because we honestly feel we can go out there offensively and run whatever, any kind of scheme you can possibly think, and our kids will do it because they have that mindset of, I want to be good at this. I want to get better than what we have been. I want to have success here, and I want to play as a team. That's what they're doing.
It creates competition, too.
Yeah.
How did it seem a lot longer, them 2 weeks being off, wanting to get back out there the very next day? How do you handle that, thinking, man, I want to be out there the next day, and we got a week off, which was good to help you get healthy, but that seemed forever till you got back on the field?
Yeah, it's good and bad. You need the rest. The kids need the rest. Everybody needs kind of a breather to catch your breath. Obviously, if you win that game on the Friday before your bye week, it's a little easier to do that. When you lose that game, it kind of takes you out of your element because you're off your normal routine that you've been on since the beginning of August. And it kind of changes just a little bit. But again, lots of times on the bye week, you have kids not coming to practice. You have coaches that maybe just cancel practice, don't have practice. We practiced every day. We did things with them before school and after school. Attendance was the same as it is every other week, which is, again, goes to the kids. They want to be here and they're hungry and they want to win games. And it's, you lose a game and it's like, well, there could be finger pointing. There could be, I'm going to quit. I don't want to be here anymore. Coaches bickering with each other, whatever the case may be. I don't have any of that. We came in that next Saturday. We were ready to go. Came in the Monday of the bye week. Kids taking care of their grades. Kids are doing their school stuff. Kids are coming to practice. Coaches are at practice. Everybody's bouncing around. It was a normal week. And then we finished that bye week. And then, hey, let's roll and get ready for the game last Friday. And you saw what we did to South San.
Shows that the prep was there. It was a good job.
And the craziest part about that game against South San, I think we had 38 plays offensively, and we scored 42 points as a team. So
That's pretty efficient.
When your defense scores twice,
it's pretty good. So
that's it helps out. But Coach Medley, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we wish you the best of luck the rest of this season, which we hope runs into December.
Yes, sir.
Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right, so give us a preview. Well, Mar, you had a question
Yeah.
for him before we
All right, what you
broke
got?
away.
Special teams,
Yep.
lights out last week.
Yeah, we played great.
Set the tone right off the bat.
Let's talk about that because I got a kid back here that stepped in and did the kicking off for us, and you may remember him. I think he had a 35 or 37 yarder at the freshman level last year.
Yep.
He comes in and Brennan Keir's nursing a little a hip injury right now, so we'll see how he ends up getting healthy or not. But Connor comes in and he kicks one into the corner, and we pin him early. And that helped, and so, it was nice to see him get out there and do the thing he likes doing as well as hitting people on the defensive side. And then I really thought our punt team did a great job. Brendan Butler ended up getting a hold of one. We ended up pinning him inside the 10 again.
That was a good one. He checked up on the 4-yard line.
So
that was big.
It was huge. Special teams, man, it's that third phase, and that's something that we actually talked about in the scouting report on every Monday. We meet at 7:30 and go through the scouting report, varsity and JV. But we did talk about it, how there's 3 phases to the game, and your goal is to win 2 of those phases. And so, you think back to playing that green team over there, we probably lost 2 of those phases on the offensive side and special team side and 1 the defensive side. And so we needed 2 phases to win a football game, whichever 2 that those may be. And most times you'll win a ball game. And so obviously the other night I felt like we did what we needed to do on special team side, offensively and definitely on defensive side. And so we probably won all 3 phases. But our goal is obviously we want to win. We want to win everything, but we want to win 2 of the 3.
Well, and you reiterated the green team, and that was pretty much, you could probably put that L a lot on the lack of play on the special teams. But
we're never going to
never going to do that.
There
But
were so many years.
It could have been a different.
Yeah,
but
that's what people, they're always going to see like the last play or say the, 5th to last play. Man, there's about 20 plays probably that you could go back, and then you could probably cut that down to about 5 or 7 that really dictates that game. But so we didn't play as well as I'd hoped on special teams in that game, but we came around. Like Coach Medley said, we practiced through the bye week. We still did our normal routines during athletic periods, and obviously put a game plan together. And excited about the game plan we got this Friday night. Against Laredo Cigarro whenever they come into town, and so we'll. Excited to get a hold of them and play their scheme, just so we can talk about them a little bit, because obviously got a big game on Friday night. Their scheme's a little different. You're going to see some Wildcat from them. They make the numbers really, really well on their offensive side. You're going to see double sniffer. You're going to see a couple tight ends. They're going to run the quarterback. They're going to put number 1 back there as well. He's kind of their GoDaddy. And so they're going to put him back there, and they're going to run some gap schemes and some outside zone stretch stuff. And then they'll throw the ball very minimal. I would expect them to throw it more than 10 times probably. They haven't thrown it as much. But they are a heavy run team, but they will mix the quarterback in and get into Wildcat on the offensive side. And then, defensively, it kind of depends on what he decides to do. So he bases out of an odd front, plays cover 4 behind it, and then he could end up going to 1 high and playing a stack as well. So, we'll kind of see. Obviously, we're prepared to go against an even or go against an odd or go against a stack.
And by this time of year, you've seen it all.
Yeah, we've seen it all, so we're prepared to go against whatever they decide to do. But once we get out there and we see the first 3 to 5 plays, we'll kind of have an idea of what we're going to see, and then we kind of go from there usually. So.
It's definitely a big game.
Of course.
Friday.
Yep.
One question I'd like to throw out there. It's kind of a futuristic thing.
Okay.
Possibility of going 6A.
Yep.
We'll just say it's a possibility.
Possibility.
Very, very strong possibility. Will you follow suit? And you looking at possibly going and having a spring training this year? and cutting a couple of weeks out of the beginning of the year because, and I only say that because of what you're saying right now, the continuity. What you're getting out of these guys right now, I would think you can't wait to get them back out there to start to keep going and to keep molding. And
So
has that been a thought, or is that
it's always evaluated. We will evaluate that once we sit down and evaluate the season and then evaluate what we got coming back in the month of December and January. We'll make some decisions. It's never out or off the table. I will say that. In the past,
because you do have a lot of kids play baseball.
Yeah, and so here a lot of kids play baseball, and then you've got 3 football coaches coaching baseball as well. So, you look at that, and then so we'll see. It's not off the table. I will say that we will evaluate it and see what we need. We will return quite a bit of experience, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
What I will say, because I was a spring training guy till I guess 8-9 years ago, or I guess for about 8 or 9 years we did spring training every year. And what I will say is having a second scrimmage is also not a bad thing either. And I'll talk about like our scheme. We're cutting and we're bear crawling, scrambling and stuff. It's hard to do that against our defense. And so getting a second scrimmage and being able to get 2 in and get to go against somebody else actually
and sometimes
helps
you can get
us a little bit.
Sometimes you can get a lot accomplished just during your athletic period.
We can. I mean, we can really go into the nuts and bolts on this deal. But like, okay, so let's talk about that. So I get the job February 28th. Well, we painted the field into March, I guess, last year, and we played football. Like, same deal. Like, we'll take the month of January and February and that first week of March, and we're going to lift heavy. Quarterbacks will go through a quarterback school in the month of February where they'll lift in the morning, and then during the athletic period, we're going to practice being a quarterback. And so, but when we come back from spring break, we're going out. We're going to practice football. And so we will lift in the mornings. Not everybody knows this, but we'll more than likely lift in the mornings or after school, depending on what track with the, A team, B team track stuff. But we're going to practice 8 or 9 periods during the athletic period and practice football. So, and then we did the same thing when we got into the summer. We had an hour, our 30-minute sessions this summer where we practiced football. We actually went good on good in the summer. And, there's ways to do it. You can tag off. You can put the 7-on-7 helmets and quick whistle, take 2 steps, or go 1-on-1 or 3v2 and things like that. But we're going to practice football. So, okay. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get
continuity.
I didn't mean to get too much into it. I had that thought about spring traiing and 6As.
It's never out of.
Yeah, because there's very few 6As that don't do spring training.
You would actually, I think it's more nowadays leaning towards not doing it, at least closer around here. There's a lot that's not doing it, and they're getting the 2 scrimmages. There's still some, like Sotomayor is going to do spring, and then there's still a few that are going to, do spring, but there is actually quite a bit that don't. You'd be surprised. Okay.
Well, Coach,
what is the other schedule for the football games this week? Just let people know where the JV's playing, where the freshmen playing.
Sorry about that. So the freshman A team will be at home at 5:30 against Laredo Figueroa tomorrow. The freshman B team and then the JV A team are headed to Alamo Heights. At 5 o'clock is the B game, the freshman B game. And then at 6:30 underneath the lights, our JV team, who's had a really good year, is going to play Alamo Heights' A team at 6:30 there. And then our JV B team is headed to Central Catholic, and then they will.
So who's playing here?
Laredo Figueroa, the A team will play here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Freshman A team.
Freshman
okay.
A.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
But all 4 teams are
have a game.
Great.
That's good.
Yeah.
You got anything else for the guys?
Well, just good luck and take care of business.
I'm going to try to shut up. I'm trying not to talk a lot again.
I am excited about the guys we got tonight. I will say that. I got my man Lorenzo Morales on the defensive side over there, number 16. Got a game ball from San Antonio Express News. I got the quarterback, Michael Newton, and then also we got Connor Crisp, who's going to join us from special teams.
That's great.
Awesome.
Well, we're gonna take a commercial break, listen to a few of our sponsors, and we want to say again, Coach Medley, Coach Britt, thank you, and best of luck to you this Friday night. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dodson House Moving and Construction is a 4th-generation company operated by the same family for over 75 years. We do turnkey work from moving your structure, setting the foundation, and all your construction needs. Aluminum decking, concrete work, canopies, and any other need to make your project operational. From moving to construction, large or small, Dodson House Moving and Construction does it all. Located at 12939 Southwest Loop 410 in San Antonio. Give us a call at 210-628-1459.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you. Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, 2 legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com.
Bush's Chicken, one of the oldest locations in Castroville, is proud to serve the Medina Valley area. Bush's Chicken has one goal: be the best. Bush's Chicken knows its success comes from loyal customers in the communities they serve. Stop by Bush's Chicken on Tuesday and get the Tender Tuesday deal, or try their buffalo fries and ask about their Panther special. It's always a hit. Bush's Chicken, 935 Highway 90 East in Castroville. Call them at 830-538-2800.
Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tondre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices.
And welcome back, everybody, to tonight's broadcast of Sports for Supper, live from Sammy's Restaurant. I'm Jeff Stivers once again with Maury Stein, and now we have a few football players that we're going to visit with about this past Friday night's big win. It was a big win. We're going to start with the, what are you, junior? You're senior. That's what I thought. I was going to say. We're going to start. Go ahead and say your name, speak loud, speak proud. You're a Panther, man, for life. So let us know.
Number.
Hi, my name is Lorenzo Morales, class of 2024, and I'm a defensive end.
And we're number 16.
16, yes, sir.
Now, was your number different last year?
Never.
It was 16, wasn't
16.
it? Yeah. Because I think I saw something on your Twitter handle or Instagram or something that says 678 or something.
That was my old account.
Ah, see, I saw it because I was like, wait a minute, I don't think he's ever been 78.
No, I will never be 78.
No, yeah. Well, we we were talking with Coach Britt and Coach Medley earlier about the game and how, I told him, I said, well, it really didn't look like your offense got a chance to get rolling. I said, but partially because Lomo had a blocked punt, and then he took the ball out of the runner's hand. Hurt your hand.
It hurt my arm on that punt.
Oh, my God. Don't say that out loud, okay? We don't want to. Can I edit that out? No, really. But when you do things like that, when somebody on the team gives that burst, that the energy. There you go. Yeah, it transmits
to the offense.
That's right. To this guy to your right over here, and it helps. It's a good start for the game. It gets you off on the right foot is what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
but go ahead and tell us about that first play, that block punt. Was that a call or was that?
Yes, it was a call. So our first.
Don't tell us how you did it, okay? We don't want to know the details, okay?
No,
all right.
So we just booked it to him, and I just blocked it with my hand / my wrist, and so I blocked it, and then they got on and scored in 2-3 plays, right?
3 plays.
I think it was 3 plays.
3 plays, and we scored.
Third down run by Mr.
By
Newton.
Mike. Yeah,
Showing that blazing speed.
It's fun to score with that quarterback because it's amazing. He gets hype. We're hype on the sideline.
It gets you going,
Yes,
like
sir.
we were talking about. Absolutely. Well, then go on and tell us about. I wasn't at the game, but I had
Yes,
to go
sir.
back and watch the video, and I was watching the video, and all of a sudden you standing in the end zone with the
Yeah.
football, and let's talk about that. It was set up because of the beautiful checked up punt, I believe. Isn't that when Butler hit that punt and sucked it up right there inside the 5-yard line?
Yep.
Go ahead and tell us about that play.
So on that play, it was a play call on the sideline. It's called a gator, where it's 2 guys stacked in the front, 2 guys behind, and 2 guys behind, and we just all rush. So I guess the quarterback got the ball from the center under snap, and he tried to pull it up, and I guess he lost it midair trying to go up, and it was just.
Oh, so you
right
didn't
there.
take it from
No,
him. It was
no.
just floating in the
Yes,
air,
it
and you
was
were
right
like,
there.
hey,
So,
that's like
I
a
just,
Christmas egg right there.
Pulled it off of someone's
Easter egg.
shoulder,
Yeah.
and I just ran it, and I was like, I was so happy. I was
Bring
happy.
bring out the can.
Oh, yes, sir. But I
Yeah,
think-
Maury loves y'all's little can.
Oh,
He
yeah,
gets
me
excited
too.
with that
Me too. I
can.
love
I'm a wrestling fan. It's like say, Devon, get the table. Somebody get that can.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun to be with that.
Because
Squad.
at the JV game the night before, I was down there, and the James gang was down there. Stanton,
James
Vallejo, and the other 21. We had him on the
James
show,
Martinez, yes.
and I said, I want to see some trash can action tomorrow
Yeah,
night. And, well, we got to see some, and that's always
It's
always
to do
fun.
that.
I mean,
With
and
your
it's just fun enough to where it just ticks the other team off, and
They're
it gives them
they're
something
wow,
to. Yeah. So what is Figueroa gonna? What do you expect from
They're
them?
gonna
What are they
try
gonna?
to-
What are they more heavy on? Run or pass?
Oh,
or?
run the whole game, but our D line's way too good for that. I mean, we're beast up front. Fears, Gibby, Aiden's out. I think this week. I don't know.
TMI, man. TMI. You ever heard that? TMI. Because everybody in the State's listening to this right now. We don't want to give away all of our secrets.
So
Yes,
what are you keying on? The main thing Friday night.
A double team is gonna come heavy. I feel like on our nose and our defensive ends.
So what that means, you know what happens when they double team? That means somebody else is getting single blocked. That means that person's got to step up and win the war.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's always a good thing. I mean, if you're drawing a double team, that means somebody else is getting single blocked, and they should be able to beat them.
Make it a tackle, yes, sir.
Yep. So, and I know a lot of the defenses that I coached, we always told defensive ends and defensive tackles, you're there to take up blocks.
Yeah.
That's what our defensive coordinators used to say. And I always said, make plays. If you can make a play, make a play.
Mm-hmm.
Go get your name in the paper,
Yes,
which
sir.
you did. So
Yes,
we
sir.
want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
One last question I want to ask you before we move on, and I asked you off the air. Aspirations of playing any college ball?
No, not right now, but I'm getting looked at a little bit by Kingsville. They're kind of talking to me a little bit, so I would like to probably end up going there.
Yeah. I think I would know 1 or 2 people down there.
You think so?
I may.
Any other sports, Lomo?
Basketball.
You gonna play basketball?
That's my sport too. I love playing
That's why you were
basketball.
saying you want to get that growth spurt before basketball season.
Yes.
Well, I don't know
My
about
dad's been
that.
working with us.
Can you?
Basketball.
Are you still going to be able to handle the ball if you grow a couple more inches?
Yeah, I'll be good.
You
Okay.
can be like Wimby.
Yeah. Well, I would hope so.
All right, Lomo. And, hey, we appreciate it, and we've loved watching you, this year and throughout your career. Wish you the best of luck
Thank you.
Friday night.
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, you got to have your one question for him.
Yeah, we're going to have maybe a pick six or a fumble recovery or a couple
Fumble
tackles for
recovery.
loss.
Yeah, about 4, say this week.
4? Tackles for
Tackle
loss? There you
There
go.
you
Okay.
go.
4 tackle
Okay.
for loss.
There you go.
Recovery.
All right. We got the prediction.
Well, that's only the second possession they have the ball, so that'll be taken care of early.
Sir,
Yeah.
that'd be easy.
All right. Well, thank you. Now pass it on to
sir.
one of your brethren here.
There you go, Michael Newen. Sir.
All right. Tell us a little about your name,
Number,
position,
grade.
grades.
Sir, my name
grades.
is Michael Newton. I'm number 13. I'm a junior, and I'm the quarterback. Yes, sir.
And what about your grades?
My grades?
You got good grades?
They're pretty good. Yes, sir.
Pretty good. Pretty
He's
good.
still sitting here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
there you
Okay.
go.
I ask my daughter all the time. She says, "I got all A's, Dad." I said, "Well, how come I got this report that says you had a B?" "Oh, well, that one didn't count." "Oh, well, no. Okay, so you don't have all A's." Okay, but no, we've known Michael here for a while. But Michael, you've had some struggles this year.
Yes, sir. Up and downs. Yes, sir.
Kind of a little roller coaster. I mean, if you're an athlete, and if you're an athlete for a very long, period of time, like Mr. Maury over here, he's still an athlete. He had his shoulder operated on here recently.
Yes, sir.
Hey, he's a golfer. He's a
really?
good golfer when
I've
he's
seen you out there a couple
yeah
times,
when he's
actually.
fully healthy. But he has his ups and downs still, and he's pushing the sixes. You know what I mean? And we're
Yes,
not
sir.
talking 6 handicap. So everybody has ups and downs.
Yes, sir.
Talk about how you are learning as a junior. You still got another year. How to handle when there's no lower. I can't get any lower.
Yes, sir.
How do you handle those? How are you handling it right now? And I'm asking you these kinds of questions because my son's been talking to a sports psychologist, and that's a lot of things they talk about. How to prepare yourself and how to handle it if it doesn't go your way. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think I'll have to go back to last year when I tore my ACL, just battling that adversity. And that was more like of a, I guess, physical and mental, more physical than mental, but now it's just like more of a mental, like to get over it mentally. And I mean,
Sure, the coaches help you.
yes, sir. I mean,
Hey,
Coach
put it
Britt-
behind you.
Coach Britt and Coach Medley, all the offensive guys, they all help me. And, my parents do at home. They tell me to keep my head up and stuff. But it's just taking it, like coaching them say, the next play or the next week.
That's right. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Because if you let those things hang with you,
Mhm.
it's just going to happen again
Yes,
and
sir.
again and again. It's stuff like that you got to learn to put behind you.
Sure, and I pitch, so it's it's next pitch, it's short mind, and
Yeah,
yes,
that's the sports psychologist. He talks to my son about don't worry about the last pitch.
Mhm.
Worry about the next pitch because that's the one that's going to hurt you.
Yes,
Because
sir.
if you don't worry about that next snap or that next pass, or that's something that could really hurt you. And I think you've done you've had your growing pains,
Yes, sir.
and I think you've done a great job of coming out and putting doubters. Let them doubt all they want to, but I'm going out here. I'm the quarterback. It's my team.
Yes, sir, of
Put you on
course.
my shoulders and let's go get it. You had a heck of a job, a heck of a game this past week.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now
That's
what
the
do you
player
do?
of the game.
Yeah. Now, well, that's why he's here. But now what do? You got to build on that.
Yes,
Hey, these guys, they look up to you. They want to know what Michael Newton's got in there. Is he bringing some of them fumble recoveries and the stuff that Lomo's been bringing? Lomo's saying, hey, we're looking at the offense now. We want the offense to step up. So you're doing
Yes,
a good
sir.
job, Michael. I just want to say that.
What
you.
what is Cigaroa's defense? What are they going to impose? What is your main focus against
Yes, sir.
their
Well,
defense?
Up front, they're a 3-4. Sometimes they'll 3-3 stack, but they don't really move around a lot. So like if we motion, they don't like move around a whole lot. But this week we're mostly reading the tackles and getting eyes on the safety, but that's about it.
So how long did it seem like that week off after coming off of a tough loss to Southwest? How did them 2 weeks, how long did that seem for you guys to want to get back there the next day and not be able to get back on the field for 2 weeks?
That weekend it hurt. It was a long weekend. Then we got back that week and we really just moved on, really just to focus on South San. And it was a long week, but we got to South San. We were ready. Energy was probably the best it's been all year in the locker room. Like before the game, we were amped up, and it showed. I really did.
What's and your two positions you play in baseball and football, you're kind of the quarterback in baseball also.
Yes, sir.
What seems harder for you to go out there and because the whole team's dependent on you both positions you play.
Yes, sir.
What do you seem is more of a challenge, getting up there and pitching or quarterbacking?
I've been playing baseball since I was little, so I would say I feel more comfortable on the mound. But, I mean, I feel comfortable back in the pocket, but it's just not, I guess, I haven't been there as long.
Baseball, you've been there a lot
Yes, sir.
longer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm I have to agree that, you know, once you've grown up doing something, it's always a lot easier to do.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's a lot easier to have that experience.
What
'cause
was
you got it?
What was the main thing? What did you have to struggle with the most to get back into playing shape after your knee surgery?
Well, I was just trying to get back for baseball in time. I got back in time for 3 games. I pitched on the JV for 3 games, but it was mainly just like, I guess it was just building the muscle back in my leg because I lost about a lot of it. My leg was like really small.
Yeah, you weren't moving well.
No.
And your wind-up looked way
No,
off.
sir. Yes, sir. And then over the summer, I went to some training, so that helped out a lot. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, I think, you know, something I noticed at the beginning of the football season, too, was physically you were right, but mentally you weren't because you were still –
Oh, yes.
you got to get that first hit on that knee
Yeah.
to make you feel like, you know what, I'll be okay.
I know it was a couple weeks ago. It's funny, actually. On the right side of my knee, I'm numb. So, like, when I get hit there, I don't feel it. But, like, I got hit there, I guess, and I looked down on the bench, and there's, like, a huge ball on my knee. And I'm like, what the heck is this? But I couldn't feel it, so it was like, I guess this is an event, a little plus. But
Bruises happen.
Little contusion, little
Yep.
blood buildup there,
Yep.
maybe.
Yep.
But it didn't.
no, I
Nothing at all.
couldn't feel it.
Wow.
Feel it, yes,
Yeah.
sir. Pretty cool.
Can you feel everything? Your
On
shoulder?
That, on that one, yeah.
You-
It's the other one.
Oh, it's the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Wrong shoulder. Michael, I'm not going to ask you about your future because right now your future is wide open.
Yes,
You know, you got another year. You got baseball coming up. You got, hopefully, like we've been saying, you got December. Hopefully, you're still playing football. But eventually, football's going to come to an end. Baseball's going to start. Where do you see in baseball? What do you see happening this year? What do you think about your baseball team?
Well, hopefully I make varsity this year, and if I do, I think I can contribute to the team, get a portion amount, and a lot of returners from that varsity team last year, and I think that we have the talent to go a few rounds deep this year.
Yep, definitely, especially on the mound.
They
Got a
need
lot of pitchers
pitchers.
coming back
Well,
also.
they need pitchers
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Our rotation should be pretty good. This
Yeah.
year.
No, well, good. Well, Michael, we wish you the best of luck this weekend and throughout the future. Okay, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move it over, pass it over to the rookie down there.
Oh, dropped your phone.
Oh, he dropped something. Okay, go ahead. Tell us your name, position, birthday, whatever you want to
What
tell
grade
us.
you are?
My name's Connor Crisp. I'm a sophomore. I've kind of played a little bit of everywhere on the defense, outside linebacker, safety, and then just started kicking this week against South San. So
You were thrust into action
Preseason.
after the injury in Lockhart, correct?
yeah, after Manny hurt his finger in that week of practice, which that was all kind of crazy. I didn't even know I was gonna be on varsity until that week versus Kerrville. Also in the JV locker room, JV helmet. It was kind of like, all right, you're gonna be starting at a new position against Kerrville Tivy.
Who
So,
broke that news to you?
Coach Linhart.
Oh, wow.
It was
Well, let me tell you a little secret. When you're smart, football smart, and you can play multiple positions, makes you that much more important to a team. So always throughout your career, all of you guys, be flexible. Learn multiple positions, play multiple positions. If they need you to deep snap. Show them you can do it. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, there's a lot of truth. If you ever want to go to college, and I know, Connor, we're going to talk a little bit about your other sport here in a minute, but if you ever want to go to college or if you ever want to go to other places, be flexible. Be able to do anything the coaches ask you. They talk about it in the NFL all the time, about how a guy makes the roster because he was special on special teams. You know, he did other things on special teams that were really beneficial to the team. may have been third or fourth on the depth chart at linebacker or something, but he could play special teams and he makes the team. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. That's why they were looking at you like that. So, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You talked about you got thrust into the kicking job, but you kicked in 8th grade and freshman last year.
I've kicked every year I've played football. I've kicked. I actually went to my first kicking camp at UTSA this summer, so I've always been kicking. I kick in the period. It was kind of like Kier was telling me his hip was hurting. He goes, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go. It was right before the game. It was when we were doing our warm up and kicking the field. So it was kind of all right. And then it's kind of next man up mentality and just go out there and do what I've been practicing. So.
That was the first play of the game, and your kick pinned them down inside the 10-yard line. And to me, that set the tone for the whole game. We ended up scoring after that possession. Forced it out. And was that something called to directional kick away from the the return man?
Through film, South Sand, they'd want to return to their right side, so our left. They'd bring everybody. So if we could pin them as far right as we could outside the hash, then it was money because their blocks couldn't get set up. And then it was just, I don't know if we had more numbers to our right or what, but we just pinned them right there deep, and so they couldn't get the blocks and numbers. So it was more like a numbers game. Pin them on the right side, their left, and
awesome.
Good. All right, so I'm going to ask you a pretty serious question here, Connor.
Oh, boy.
Where'd you learn to kick?
I guess it was from soccer.
There you go. I was waiting to hear that. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It's a little bit different. Like soccer, you land on your kicking foot. Kicking, you're not supposed to land on your kicking foot. I still do it sometimes through muscle memory. But I guess everybody says, oh, you kick it soccer style. It's that's how you kick a football. And I always get that, you're supposed to toe punch it. It's I don't want no broken toes. But I guess that's where I kind of started. I've been playing soccer since I was little, started playing club soccer, and just kind of did kicking just.
It had a lot to do with your dad being the head soccer coach, or a soccer coach for many years of his career, I guess, while you were growing up in elementary and middle school.
Yeah, I grew up around the sport, so it was kind of that's my second sport. I feel at home at soccer. It's kind of.
And you made the varsity last year as a freshman.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, so, kudos for that. Looking forward. I don't know if you knew, but we're adding soccer to our winter broadcast this year. We're going to try to do some soccer games along with basketball games.
Sir, hope to be at some of those games. That Sports for Supper.
Well, we're not going to have sports for supper. Sorry, man. Sorry. This is a football season only kind of deal. But we will have it on air, and we will be trying to broadcast some of those soccer matches, some of the bigger ones probably. So, Maury?
What are your, as far as the defensive side of the ball, what do you see Siguro challenging y'all on the defensive side of the ball? What do y'all have to do as a team to come out of there with a win?
On the defensive side, we just need to be gallop sound. We need to own the tight end and spill the pullers so we can get the numbers because they run the quarterback. So numbers are even. So someone's going to be one-on-one with the tackle. But our job, if you spill the puller, then you get 2 extra people to make that tackle. So just everyone doing their job, fitting right, and it's normally.
That's right.
Just scheming.
Fits. It's fits. He said it right. You got to have your fits. If everybody fits where they're supposed to fit, they ain't nowhere to go.
Sir,
and then once you get there to the point of attack, make the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So good.
What is your longest? You kicked one last year as a freshman, 30-something yard field goal, didn't you?
Oh yes, sir.
So what would you feel comfortable with if it was on the line and you needed to kick? What is the furthest that you could push it?
Furthest, maybe 47. I've hit that before, but definitely comfortable around 42. 42 and closer, I feel all right, I can hit that.
Wow, that's good.
It's good. I coached a kicker one year that kicked for Texas A&M, and he could kick from 45 to 50. He was pretty comfortable usually all the time.
I think that will come with. Hopefully, I get a little bit bigger over the summer, and that mass kind of helps.
Mass helps. That's right.
So
mass helps. Don't let anybody ever tell you different. Tell your mama you want to eat a lot of protein.
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
What other sports do you play, Connor?
Just soccer. Last year I was going to do track, but we made it to the playoffs in soccer, so it kind of overlapped too much.
Yep. We hope the same this year.
Mm-hmm.
We really do. We hope the same. Well, Connor, thank you. Thank you for coming in. We hope to see a lot more of you here in the next 2 years.
Sir.
Okay. Guys, thank y'all for coming in. Coach Britt, Maury, we're going to run some few commercials, and we're going to come back here and talk a little bit about Panther Athletics, and we're going to close this thing out.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Dodson House Moving and Construction is a fourth-generation company operated by the same family for over 75 years. We do turnkey work from moving your structure, setting the foundation, and all your construction needs. Aluminum decking, concrete work, canopies, and any other need to make your project operational. From moving to construction, large or small, Dodson House Moving and Construction does it all. Located at 12939 Southwest Loop 410 in San Antonio. Give us a call at 210-628-1459.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you. Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must to visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com.
So we're having contact.
Welcome back to Sports for Supper. You've heard from Coach Britt, Coach Medley. You've heard from a few of the players tonight. And, we didn't have anybody else on, Maury. We'd like to, eventually hear about basketball and soccer and all the great things that are happening. Coach Bull will be back on next week. We will have a Sports for Supper next week, and we will have a Sports for Supper as long as we're still in the playoffs.
Yep.
So I say we're going to have one next week. There is one possibility that if we don't win, that we may not make the playoffs. So
Take care of business, you're in.
we'll take care of business. We'll be in, and we'll be back on next Wednesday. Maury, you and I watched last night, or 2 nights ago actually, the end of the volleyball season. The volleyball team bowed out in the first round of the playoffs to a I thought a pretty good MacArthur team. They had a couple of girls that could really get after it. They finished the season 21-18. It's another winning record season for Coach Griggs.
Another playoff
run. They finished 10-4 in district. I think from what I saw, there were 2 seniors. Yes. Both of them were starters, but they do have a lot of girls returning,
Absolutely.
And the future looks bright. They've got the one tall girl in the middle. They've got Kara Garcia. They've got some girls out there that look like they're going to just be able to step up and play. So we're looking forward to the future of Panther volleyball. We do have the girls, I believe, they're starting their scrimmages this week. Basketball.
Basketball.
So they'll be having their first games and first tournaments here in a couple of weeks. We will be carrying some of the girls' basketball and some of the boys' basketball. But this year we're also going to add soccer. So we are looking for advertisers for, soccer, basketball. Don't know how it's going to work yet. We're going to have to sit down and put a calendar together. But Jared Lucky is a big soccer fan, so he's volunteered but he said he will try to do some of the soccer games.
He said that before conversing with his wife. And they are going to induce labor tomorrow on her. So all of our prayers go out to
absolutely
Jared and Shannon. Hope everything goes
all right. We do have a new crew. Of Marcus Fuentes and his daughter Ryla John, who did a pretty good job for basketball, for volleyball. So he's also said that he'll be able to step in. And then, of course, we have our old trusty Maury Stein and myself and Dwayne Garza that'll always pitch in and help. So, but, Maury, one thing, and I don't even know how many people we got left on here that could hear this, but one thing is we always look at, we always are needing extra help for all you 3 people that are watching or listening right now. We always are needing somebody else to run the board or to run the camera. So if you're ever looking for a little something to do, just give me a buzz. But we are looking for advertisers for the winter sports, so give us a call. Anything else, Maury? What else we got going on?
Ready to go.
About to lose my voice.
Thursday night, gonna be there to run the clock and help out at the JV or the freshman game, and then getting ready for Friday night football once again here. It's going to be a beautiful weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice evening.
Nice evenings, nice cool evenings. So
fall
is here, and it's football season. It's playoff time.
Yep, it sure is. Hopefully we make things happen this week, and we see you back here next weekend. We will be, I anticipate we'll be live here from Sammy's again next Wednesday. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Quick, short show tonight. Sorry we got on a little late.
Technical difficulties.
Always technical difficulties. The Wi-Fi, I got to figure out a better system for Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi just throws us into a tether. It threw us into a tether the other night, the volleyball game. I mean, we're sitting in the middle of San Antonio, and we had Wi-Fi, and it just for some reason the computer wasn't reading it. So, but we'll try to keep improving and try to keep doing what we can do and do it better. So, with that being said, Rangers close it out tonight?
I think so.
Rangers close it out tonight. So, with that being said, it's Jeff Stivers along with Morris Stein. Y'all have a